Hey, Mega Moms, Jessica Hensley here with Real Estate Mega Moms, where we help moms create a life and a business that they love. And today, Stefanie and I are joined by Jamie and Brad Flanagan. They are going to be keynote speakers at our upcoming Abundance Conference, and we're going to talk about them, their business, their marriage, and probably get a little personal. And we're also going to give you a little preview of what you can expect at the Abundance Conference. Hey, Jamie and Brad, how are you guys?
Hello, we're good.
Long time no see. How are you?
Yes, it has been a while. We've all been so busy. I've seen you guys traveling all over the place and So we were talking about our lineup for Abundance, and I knew we wanted Jamie to speak, and then you guys actually launched a program for husband-wife teams and husband-wife, well, you tell us. When I saw what you were doing, I'm like, you know what? Our moms need both of you guys to be there to speak because we have a lot of husband-wife team duos. So
yeah,
what do you do?
I noticed, one of the inspirations was so often I see in Facebook groups for real estate how women will post, and now obviously I'm a woman, so I'm in women groups. So I'm not saying that men don't have the same feeling, but so many women will post and they'll say, I just got my real estate license, or I've been hustling and I've been doing all the things that my mentor has asked, which is doing open houses, but I'm not generating enough income yet. And my spouse isn't supportive. And so Brad and I went through that in the beginning. I was new construction. So I was working every weekend and I didn't get a paycheck for 9 to 12 months. And we were lucky because he was on the loan side. So he knew that we're long-term big picture real estate group is my company. But together, basically, he knew that we were going to have an income, but so often the spouse isn't supportive of the business because they're not seeing there's a lot of hard work that goes into running a real estate business. And so that journey, and it was hard on our family.
And to complement that, even when there is success, then there becomes this competitive nature inside the household, and you're like, oh shoot, I need to be the one out going and killing or hunting. And then what happens is there's typically the personal side of things start to fall apart. So how to keep those going, because generally it's always, I say the greatest source of power, especially for the man, is the woman, or is the pursuit of impressing, protecting, taking care of the family like a man's supposed to. So thanks for letting me into this exclusive group. I'm really excited to be a part of it. But I was raised by a single mom, and so the qualities that the powerful woman has really has a complex protocol to it so that all areas can see the success both on the business and the professional side.
Yeah. So basically over the past we've been through a lot, and we got divorced, we got remarried to each other, and in that, we've also done a lot of self-development, as far business development, health development, as well as lots and lots of relationship stuff. And we put in the work. And so then it was really neat now coming full circle, we created basically a program where you can come in and as a couple, align your vision for what you should do for investments. So oftentimes in real estate, we don't realize all the benefits. We just get our real estate license and we're like, okay, investing sounds cool, but I don't even know where I would start. And we want to accelerate that path for people, because the benefits on the tax side, especially when you start earning really significant income as a successful real estate agent, you need those tax benefits, you need the depreciation. So being able to accelerate how people learn and understand that and do it the right way, and understand and have a shared vision with each other of, here's how we identify, and here's, if I go on a listing appointment, we know that if, it's a $225,000 house or less, I can pretty much make them an offer right then and there. And Brad's on board to make it happen if it's going to be financially, a good fit for our investment portfolio or our flip or whatever. But like getting in alignment, just like you would in a business. So we have a boot camp that basically goes through how to get your finances in order, how to structure those finances to present them to the bank, what banks to actually interview, and how to find and identify those banks. We go into marketing your investment portfolio from the rental standpoint, as well as identifying properties with marketing flaws. So there's just a lot that we go in. It's a 7-week boot camp. And then we're actually launching a marriage and money mastermind next month. So that'll be our, you're on a journey with us together.
Yeah. And that's when you were launching that, I was thinking that is exactly what we need, the marriage and money, because so many times marriages suffer, especially when the wife is successful in real estate, because it's hard to juggle everything, it just is. And if you don't have a supportive spouse, then you feel torn. And so I'm thankful that I had a supportive spouse that was happy for me to do what we're doing, but he wants nothing to do with real estate. I do my thing, he does his thing. But Stefanie, actually, her husband and son are working with her. So she's a husband-wife team as well. And you got into the business first, Steph. Do you have any questions for them?
Oh, yeah. And this is so awesome. I am so happy to meet you. Jessica has told me a lot about you guys. And did you guys meet in Omaha? Jess, did you travel to Omaha or something?
So Jamie and I met in St. Louis.
Yeah.
She was speaking at the EXP regional rally, and I was one of the MCs. And so we got to connect there, and I really connected and talked more to Jen just because we had more alone time. Jen Genya, she's also going to be a speaker. But then I messaged Jamie. I don't remember how I found out, but you guys said you were going to be meeting up in Colorado. Oh, Jamie told me you guys were going, and I messaged Jamie, or Jen told me. I messaged Jamie.
Yes.
Too. And so I don't normally invite myself to things, but
you were invited before you. That was totally yes.
I love it.
So
it's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, I wanted to hear your guys' story. I think it's absolutely awesome. So so we're part of a husband and wife team, and then my oldest son works with us as well. And so I loved hearing, Brad, what you had said about, you're supporting Jamie, and it sounds like Jamie, by the way, my husband's name is Brad as well. So
Those for Dad and her brother.
Instantly connected. And so my Brad supports me as well. And, I've always kind of thought like the marriage team is like, we're doing everything together. It doesn't matter who brings in the money or who is like the one that, instigates the money that is brought in. It's about us. It's about, we support each other, and God allows us to bring in the money that supports our family. But it's interesting at first because Brad has always been kind of that way too. It's like he wants to provide. And I always tell him, like, you are providing, you're supporting me to be able to help us, to be able to bring in the money. And it is interesting that you had said that though, Brad, because men do. Yeah, you want to be able to hunt and provide and bring in the money and do the things. And you still always are. And I always make sure that I tell Brad that it's like, I appreciate you. I make sure and it's very important. It's like, I love you. You're the man. You're doing the things, and you still, absolutely. And I think that's really important in a husband and wife team. That if the woman is still kind of the driver and the one that maybe even started the business, to make sure to tell your husband that he is still the man of the house. I mean, and I truly believe it. I mean, I make sure that Brad knows that it's like, you are the man of our house, and that's what it is. And I'm not just saying that just to be silly. I believe that. So That's so cool to hear you guys kind of, you're following. How long have you been doing this together?
So he's been in the loan side of the business for a long time.
Almost 20 years. So. and that's what's funny too, because to compliment what you had, I even tell a story, like we were really good business partners before we were really good spouses. And it's cool because that did at least give us the ability to identify other strengths and weaknesses, values, what things are important to one another. And then truly, because of our ability to collaborate on what we're just responsible for, whether it's parenting tasks or professional tasks, that ended up being the catalyst that like brings us closer together relationally, and have the deeper conversations and go back into the beliefs and values even more.
It's kind of funny that you say that. Because we divide and conquer with the kids stuff, but we have on our calendar, so we rotate our kids.
Well, we had a custody schedule before, so what the hell? Why not keep it? It worked.
So we're in the summer. It's like as parents, we're like, our kids are home all day. We need to keep them busy. And I was like, my office is from home, so naturally the kids are going to ask me questions every day. So what we did recently was, I was like, we got to figure this out. And so it's on our calendar. It's like Brad's week with the kids, my week with the kids, and our kids are like, it's like your divorce. But you guys don't fight. so it's been funny, but like finding things like that's like, yeah, you wouldn't really, like most people, that's not something probably common. And when people are married, to actually have a custody schedule. It's not a custody schedule. I'm responsible for the kids this week. And so if they need something, if there's a doctor's appointment or bringing them to sports, whatever, then we know who's responsible, and it's just easy.
It's also a good reminder, because inevitably there's a demand outside of the house that does require a compromise in that schedule. And so for me, at least, I get to go out of the way and say, hey, thanks so much for taking care of them. I know it was supposed to be my responsibility, but you made it possible for me to go do this, that, or the other thing.
Oh, that's so smart. I love that idea. I was thinking about that. We kind of do, I'm during the week, and then Cody's on the weekend, and it wasn't like a formal kind of thing. It was just since the beginning of my brokerage, looking back, like I would just focus more on home and things like that, trying to do as much as I could from home during the week, and then stack my appointments on Saturday, Sunday, knowing that I would have help, So, yeah, I like, that's a really creative idea.
But we'll go to every other weekend and Wednesdays. Just kidding.
Inevitably, the calendar alert goes up when they're going crazy, and it's like, oh, they're yours now.
And also, people see your calendar, I'm sure, because you guys both run businesses. So I put all my personal stuff so everyone knows. They're like, oh, okay, you have a doctor's appointment today. So they're saying, oh, it's your week with the kids.
Yep.
How many kiddos do you have?
Two.
Okay.
And for those that don't know, so Jamie and I both work at and Stefanie, we all work at EXP. And Jamie is located in Omaha. They're both located in Omaha, but specifically on the real estate side. And you run a team very similar to mine. I don't know that you called it a micro team before, but now you're like, I got a micro team. So do you want to tell them about your team structure?
Yeah, so we run very similar to yours, where actually Brad introduced me to it, to be completely honest. He's like, we as real estate agents, everyone's running their business on this commission-based model. And as the team leader, like you wouldn't see the CEO of, I think of like Target. You wouldn't see him going and paying everyone in the company 50% or 60% of what they're earning, when Target's running the ads, Target's driving the traffic, Target's paying for the buildings. Like, it just doesn't make financial sense. And real estate agents, we're like the only business that operates where we bring somebody on our team, we do all the work, we pay all the fees, and then we give out more than sometimes more than we're making. Actually, that's how it was before. And so we restructured it. We figured out, okay, what makes sense in the business as far as a compensation plan that works when, I'm bringing in the leads, and then we pay salary, and we do a bonus structure. And then it's more operations based than it is, salespeople based. So I will generally bring on more operations, or like a marketing person, a VA. We have a director of operations right now who's awesome. Gavin has helped me do so much in the last couple months, and we were just talking about that before, but we really need to focus on that operational support versus, the sales side of the business. Sales is important, but we can't be giving away more than we're making.
Right. And no one's going to do as good a job on the sales side as you are, and then when they do, then why would they not just start their own thing? And that's what happens. That's what happens. Right. So yeah, that was smart. I'm glad Brad talked you into that.
So I just
spreadsheet,
reflected on my own, because of course I'm running an organization that includes both sales and operations, and also being an observer where I'm partnering with real estate professionals and watching. And then of course I'm typically working with like a team lead if they do have a team, and I hear the gripes and the moans and the complaints, and it's like you're grooming them to replace you or succeed you. And so then as soon as they see we're attracting this certain personality type, when I've noticed that my hourly guaranteed salary people were the most reliable, they were the most helpful, and so those people valued the security and the stability, and that's what we're seeking as the CEO of a growing small business, is how do I gain more stability, more predictability, by bringing on those personality types and then taking on a little bit extra risk by guaranteeing them. But as long as you're going to show up, and that's what I think most entrepreneurs are successful with, is because we accept the responsibilities, we get up, we do what we have to do. I got a goofy eye on my face right now, but I'm on the camera because that's more important than me giving a crap about my aesthetics.
I can't see that.
It's on the men, but I'm making sure I'm consciously on the left side of my face here because I'm self-conscious. So that was really what was fun, and it kind of complements the previous statement where we identify our strengths and our weaknesses, and then offer up where we can help fill in the gap for one another. And that's just something that is a niche or specific to, I think, relationships and business. So we had to just bring them together.
So Brad, I know that you guys are focusing on the marriage aspect. So for a successful real estate agent that doesn't have the spouse that's working with them in real estate, like what advice would you have to that woman that's trying to, reaffirm her man and show up in all the places? And, is there any like go-to advice you have?
So blanket statement is really ultimately the man, what they want is to be loved, but then it's like, it's got this significance armor over it. And so that threat of not being as significant with regard to how much the money, because it is a profitable career field. So sometimes I see that's the challenging dynamic, is we've got the, hardworking, predictable income coming from maybe the husband in the household, and then the wife is got the luxury of then taking a little more risk, but that comes with that higher reward. Figuring out that dynamic where we can still ensure that we feel significant is important. It's easy to go get completely exhausted showing houses all day in the summertime weather, and then getting interrupted all day, and you don't have energy. Explaining the boundaries that come with that. Like, I need a few minutes to go just decompress, and then I'm going to come and greet you. As long as they don't have that expectation, because I used to be the guy who would like look out the window, when is she coming home? And I would maybe try to do something like clean an area of the house and hide all of the mess so that I could impress her with something or surprise her. And it would go unnoticed potentially because it was just busy. It wasn't and then I take offense to it. So it's really working through all those things and maybe taking a little extra time to notice the details, notice the little things, and then feed that significance. Really, there's not much else.
Oh, that's really good. Good advice. Steph, do you have any other questions?
No, I mean, that was brilliant. I mean, it sounds like some of the things that Brad and I have had to work through over the years, especially when you're working together all day. We do work from home, both of us do, but he has an office upstairs and I have an office downstairs. And I think some of the things that we've struggled through is definitely noticing what each other does throughout the day, because even though we're working together out of the home, we're not seeing each other all day. And I think it's just really just noticing what we're both doing. We have a child yet at home. And, just keeping up the house and doing those things, just like normal marriages, but then also kind of, putting the fact that we're working together and acknowledging, just like you would at like a normal work atmosphere, is acknowledging, the wins and that of boys and those kind of things. I think those are really important. And for me, I really try to make a habit of noticing those things for Brad, because he really does do a lot of those things. Like you had mentioned, Brad, that, cleaning up a corner and those kind of things. He does all of those things. And sometimes I'll breeze by it and I'm like, oh, I have to notice that, because Brad will, like, for instance, in the morning, he will get the cup of coffee ready for me. So I just have to press a button. Those are the little things that he will do for me. And that's just something so special. And sometimes I'll overlook those things. And I think that, all marriages, not even ones that work together, but those are
Right.
something pretty unique in a marriage that we all need to say thank you for. So.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm glad that
all
you brought
it's communication at the end of the day, because what I noticed that completely, I don't know, almost blew my mind is like majority of the arguments are because we want to spend some time together. We wanted to be closer. And it's like, so then we're going to, in the opportunity where we have the downtime, indulge in an argument. Like, how can we actually take a second, step back and be like, I'm mad because I care. And so usually it's like, hey, I'm feeling this way. I don't think you want me to feel this way. Am I right? And then it just opens up the door for maybe a productive conversation instead of an argument.
Yeah, the vulnerability is huge. I know for like when you're going hard, when women, I don't know, I'm just going to say this, but like recently we were raised in a way of like, women can do anything and we don't need a man. And we've been taught, like, that's been subconsciously driven into our brains. And like, I encourage people, it's like flip the script and actually like somebody on social media recently was really good. I know who it is. Ashley is her name. She posted a really good video and she was talking about like, I don't need a man. I need this man. And I was like, it resonated with me so much because like, I do need him. And when we tell ourselves we don't, we create this completely like a wall without like literally an energetic wall. And when we lean into that and become vulnerable, and like me saying I need you doesn't mean like now, yes, that is an opening for like, if you wanted to hurt me, you are the one that could hurt me the most. But when you become vulnerable, it really is eliminated, right? Like he's not going to want to hurt me when I'm actually vulnerable and letting him know that is there and that this is actually really sacred.
Yeah, so good. I love it. I don't think it's talked about enough in the real estate industry, like when you're talking about coaching and training people on how to be successful in their real estate business, because we talk about like our mission here at Mega Moms is to help you create a life and a business that you love. And it's like the life part is skipped so much in the coaching. This is how you drill down and hustle. But if you're we're doing it for our family. I think most of us, if we're honest, like that is the reason. So if you're sacrificing your family for the success, then what is the success yielding you at all? So Anyway, I love you guys, and I'm so thankful for you. I'm excited to have you at the conference. Moms, if you haven't got your ticket yet, you need to go grab it. The hotel, which we're going to be at the Beeman Hotel in Dallas, they are already filling up. So Brad and Jamie, I don't know if you guys got your.
I looked yesterday. I got a call.
Yeah, get your room, because I hear that they're almost full. And so, yeah, it's September 19th through the 21st. Yeah, it's we're going to actually have the conference on the 20th, but you're going to fly in on the 19th, and then you're going to fly out on Saturday the 21st, and we're going to have like a farewell brunch and a Q&A with Stefanie and I, where you can ask us anything personal or business. We talked about we're going to get vulnerable. We're going to talk about our relationships and finances and businesses and all the things. So that'll be a fun brunch to have before we all leave. But anyway, so excited to see you guys.
Guys, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and if they want to find you, follow you, where can they find you?
We're super Googleable, so that's something I like to say to my team, or like when I'm coaching people, may become very Googleable. But Brad and Jamie Flanagan and bradandjamieflanagan.com. We're on Instagram. We're on we spend a lot of time on Facebook. So Brad and Jamie Flanagan Wealth Through Real Estate is our Facebook group, and we share tips on how to just invest and harmonize your life and balance with your marriage. And the next course or mastermind coming up is next month. It is. So it's July 22nd through the 26th, and that's a free webinar. So we encourage people to start there. And then we do have a couple of paid options, but that, the webinar really will get you to the point of where it makes sense for you to invest in additional coaching. We'll make sure to include a link in the show notes below, and also when we send this email out to our list. So thank you so much. All right, we'll see you in September.
Have a good one. Excited. Nice to meet you, Stefanie.
Yes, nice to meet you guys.